strategy varies according to the sport, according to the need. You have to be very spot on, and there is absolutely no room for error because you're dealing with high performance athletes or upcoming athletes. So there is no room for trial and error method there. You have to be on the money when you are designing a program, or when you're testing, or when you're doing the assessment. It has to be spot on. We always say practice makes you perfect,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So that is one aspect of it. Practice makes you perfect.
Right.
It's not a question of being perfectionist per se,
Yes.
but why did you start your career for, and what is the goal? Intent is very important. Why in the entire process. So perfect practice makes you perfect, rather than just practice for hours together and trying to be big.
Welcome to the Garma Avatar Show. In today's episode, I have with me Ramji Srinivasan, who is a high performance coach and is a founder director of Sports Dynamics. Ramji Srinivasan has achieved numerous milestones throughout his career. He was the first Indian strength and conditioning coach for the Indian cricket team. Mr. Srinivasan was also the first Indian SSC coach to be a part of the World Cup winning team in 2011. Additionally, he was the first Indian SNC coach for the Champions Trophy in 2013 and the Champions League Mumbai Indians IPL team in 2011. Mr. Srinivasan further made history as the first Indian SNC coach to win the IPL for CSK in 2018. He has also trained Formula One drivers such as Naren Karthikeyan and Karun Chandok, making him the first Indian SNC coach in this domain. Mr. Srinivasan has also been the first Indian SNC coach for A1 GP Formula Racing Team India, Indian Rally Team, Super Formula Racing in Japan. He has served as an SNC coach for Indian Table Tennis Team, Tamil Nadu Ranji Team and TNC Academy. He has served as an SNC coach for Mumbai Indians for 4 years from 2008 to 2011 and as a consultant coach for CSK in the last 2 years, 2018 and 2019. Mr. Srinivasan has also contributed to the fitness training of super sport car racers, NK Racing, Miko Sport and racing teams and MRF Pace Foundations for 14 years. Furthermore, he has been an advisor to KCA and JSCA for high performance training, working with High Performance Shuttle Academies (HAP) and Great Goals Academy, and is currently involved in specialized projects for high performance in various sports. Currently, Mr. Srinivasan is training the table tennis Indian team for the Paris Olympics 2024. Thanks for joining me, Ramji. Such a pleasure to have you on my show.
Thank you so much, Garima. Thank you for the invite. Pleasure is always mine.
So your remarkable achievements and extensive, experience in the field of strength and conditioning is truly commendable. Coming to your journey, I would like to, ask you, please, your life journey and how did it all start?
Thank you. And to be very honest, I've been lucky to start off with into this domain, because I never had dreamt I would be an SNC coach, because my degrees and masters were completely different from what I envisaged to do. It was sheer accident that I came into this domain, because uh, yeah, a lot of what do you call events which has happened in the earlier stages. So coming back,
Yeah.
very keen to do my IPS, become an IPS officer. I
Oh.
couldn't pursue beyond initial stages because of my father's illness, So he was falling sick constantly. So I had to take care, being the only child, I had to take care of him, and finally he passed away. Okay, having said that, then I was working in. I'm more of an outdoor person rather than pen pushing job, or a table guy who can sit down in the office, air conditioned office, and work and plan, strategize, and other things. That can be a part of it, but I'm more of an outdoor guy. I like to be in the sun. I like to be outdoors. So then I was in the estate for some time, rubber estate in Kerala as an assistant manager. Then I came back to Chennai because my father fell sick again and again. No, again the same vicious cycle started. So yeah, then I thought what to do. I thought I'll keep on Kirana shop or something like that, be on my own. because knowing my character, I like to be independent in what I do. And friends of mine sat down and just planned, just start a gym. Yes, not that we are multi-billionaires to start a gym. It was from a we are from a middle class family, so humble beginning to start out with. We started a general fitness center, then it grew. Then I was very keen on sports, training the sports people rather than weight loss, weight gain, all
Okay.
those
Right, right.
parameters. And I had a sporting background also. I was a sprinter. I won the state and the national school games, etc., etc., in the school days. So that helped me a lot to venture into this field. But trust me, it was totally trial and error at that point of time. I didn't know much. There was no certification or no qualification involved in India. Maybe 90s, mid 90s, nothing was available. Nothing was available. So then, having taken up this field, I had to qualify myself. You know how long you can go on trial and error method and faffing people about your knowledge and your experience. You know it won't hold any water. So I went to Australia, did my strength and conditioning course and resistance training course, Swiss ball training course, the Pilates way back in 97, 98, uh, because I would always like to thank MRF for helping me achieve that goal. They sent me to Australia. They sponsored the entire thing because they felt that they saw some talent in me. And with Dennis Lilly's recommendation, I was sent to Australia also. Every year I used to go. They used to send me, and it coincided with my education there. Came back, and then start evolving a lot of new things into sports and fitness, strength and conditioning, etc., etc., into that domain. So that's a gist of it.
Wow, amazing. Okay, so you are so well qualified, and so much of so many degrees you have taken from various nationally, internationally. That's so amazing. So what tactics or strategies do you adopt to successfully coach your students?
It varies. Strategy varies according to the sport, according to the need. You have to be very spot on, and there is absolutely no room for error because you're dealing with high performance athletes or upcoming athletes. So there is no room for trial and error method there. You have to be on the money when you are designing a program or when you're testing or when you're doing the assessment. It has to be spot on. Otherwise, you'll be having a knife hanging over your head, and it
Oh.
can split you vertically into two. So you have to be very mindful of the fact that uh, whatever you learned, how you apply is very important. Just not being theoretical. Practical application is very important according to the sport and according to the need and according to specificity. Because according to so many variables we have in our country, we cannot follow the rules or any other thing any other protocols applied to the westerners or the colored people. So we need to devise our own protocols. So that is the strategy.
Okay, okay, got it. So looking inside the mind of a winner, what factors do you think are linked to success in any sport?
First, I would say success in any sport. First of all, why do you take up sport? That is very, you need to ask a question, why do you take up a particular sport? For some of them I mean, everybody wants to be a cricketer in a country. So
Yeah,
why do somebody take motorsport? Why do somebody take golf? Why do somebody take kabaddi? Why do somebody take table tennis or other sport? So
yeah.
it depends on passion, individual aptitude, which is very, very important to initially to start off with. And commitment is very critical.
Yeah.
Perseverance, uh, concentration, focus,
Yeah,
and goal setting. These are all very, very important at every stages of
sure,
your career. How
sure.
do you deal with failures? How do you deal with anxiety? How do you deal with uh, trying to be the best? There are so many pathways we need to understand, approach, and with the help of a good sports psychologist, they may be able to open a better vista into your thought processes. So they'll be able to guide you really well. There are good sports psychologists in our country now.
Right.
So there are so many factors. It's like a jigsaw coming in. We need to address those issues. and also the fear of failure. You need to cull that. You need not to cull that. You need to overcome that. You need to understand what is the fear of
How to
failure
overcome the
and
fear of failure?
progress from that. Rest is the key. Fear of failure. I love that. I love one quote. I don't know. It's an anonymous quote. Uh, a, a will to win should be more than the greater than the fear of failure. The willpower is so important. Perseverance is the key, and perseverance with commitment and with smart work is the
Okay.
key. It is not the hard work. It's smart work which matters on a long run. Everybody does hard work, in their own domain. But how smart you are in working,
Yeah.
that gives you a better understanding about your internal and external manifestations. How
Right.
do you, especially between the years? So
Right.
how do you control that? How do you have the cognition ability to kind of see a problem as a problem and come out of it successfully? Uh, those things are very, very critical and important aspects of being successful and trying to win over the failure processes. And you have to be honest to yourself. Honest to yourself about your goals. You cannot have I cannot expect to be a richest man in the world tomorrow in next 2 months. That is fantasy. So you need to have the visualization programs, etc. So yeah, it's a process driven, highly process driven. It is not, Rome was not built in one day, or Varanasi was not built in one day. So it takes time. You need to give them gestation period to be there.
So confidence is an important aspect. So what exercises can help athletes to gain confidence? And definitely, I understand that if you practice enough, you become you understand your game very well, your sport very well. Then you get a lot of confidence. But basically, anything else? What else to be do? Yeah.
We always say practice makes you perfect,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that is one aspect of it. Perfect practice makes you perfect.
Right.
It's not a question of being perfectionist per se,
Yes.
but why did you start your career for, and what is the goal, intent? Intent is very important. In the entire process. So perfect practice makes you perfect rather than just practice for hours together and trying to be big. This 10,000 hours theory,
Yeah.
so that can work, but it need to be done in a very smart manner to get the mind and body sync. you know to be confident, you need to have a good uh, physical and mental mindset. That sync has to be there, mind and body sync. It has to be there. Otherwise you cannot be a champion, you cannot be a winner. You can just talk, you can be a fair critic, you know
Okay.
dissecting every winning and losing as if a
Yeah.
big expert. But
Yeah.
uh, to be a athlete on the field
Yeah. Yeah.
among millions of people watching you, that takes a different mindset, completely a different mindset altogether.
Sure, sure, sure. Any anecdotes you like to share that that you like to relate to this with this?
There are few, for me, it's always Sachin Tendulkar, and
Acha,
now it's Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. And Sachin Tendulkar's resilience and the will to win was absolutely mind blowing. I have trained multi sport,
right.
and I think I hope most of the athletes and Indian athletes, those who are embarking on the higher level of competence and higher level of glory, can take a leaf out of Sachin Tendulkar's mindset and his work ethics. Sachin had innumerable number of injuries from all the joints. He had injuries, especially in 99 2000. He had a very bad lower back injury. He
Okay.
had to go to Australia and he collapsed in the middle of the match. We lost the match against Pakistan in spite of excruciating pain. And we went to Australia, and we had our own people, experts, armchair critics telling Sachin's career is over. His bat is too heavy, so that it's putting a lot of pressure on the joints and his lower back, especially when he's going for a hook shot or a pull shot and other things. And end of the day, Sachin defied all those people with
Yeah.
sheer heart. You can, it's absolutely mind blowing. That is one. I would say you can have 100,000 anecdotes about Sachin. That
Oh,
is one as that is one just one. So he came and proved wrong, and rest is history. 100 centuries,
oh, yes.
100 centuries. Even when he was 42, his fat percentage was less than 10. Imagine.
Wow.
It's like more or less like a Formula One driver. They need to be around 6 or 7. Sachin was like that. His discipline, having being a foodie, he loves race. He loves racing car. He would have been a phenomenal racer if he wouldn't have taken cricket.
Wow. That's
Absolutely,
fantastic.
he would have killed and ripped it.
Oh,
Seriously, trust me on that. And yeah, Sachin, he's got. You have so many examples about Sachin, and similarly Virat Kohli. His perseverance, he brought fitness into the system. Very hardworking and very committed. The entire he transformed himself from 2012 onwards.
oh,
After IPL, everybody was and everybody had a party time and other things. Then he put a full stop about himself, where he wants to go. He went full throttle. You see him where he is. Amazing commitment. Commitment is very, very important. You know, uh, as far as cricket, and MS Dhoni, of course, another legend.
oh, my God,
He
he's
had a back injury. He
amazing.
will never flinch. Even if he's injured badly, he will never flinch. He will keep. Nobody will know that he had back issues or back spasm till he comes out of the boundary line. Absolutely mind blowing athletes these were.
Fabulous. And
So
so what else makes them so fabulous? I mean, does also mental training or any aspect of, I mean,
they are able to sync, Garima, the mind and body sync. That sync
oh,
is very, very critical for iconic athletes. You take any, you have legends, crossing the legends are icons. You know, you
yeah,
see any iconic athlete around the world, from Schumacher, especially racing, you see Schumacher to Alain Prost to Senna, etc., etc. Or currently you have Verstappen and Hamilton,
yeah,
Vettel, etc. And see the mindset, see the way they do, see the way they involve, prepare themselves. They're process driven, highly process driven people.
wow,
Or Michael Jordan, or Tiger Woods, or Roger Federer, or Novak, or Nadal. You have, or Tom Brady, who is also 47, 48, doing his NFL. LeBron James, you have Messi, you have Ronaldo. You have so many iconic athletes to look into.
yeah,
You know, so what separates rice from the chaff? It's here.
yeah,
End of the day, it's between your ears.
yeah.
It matters quite a lot.
So anxiety management also is an important aspect of sports performance. So, what are the steps that an athlete can take to overcome such anxiety and pressure? Because these games and all are very high pressure games and all. I mean, so much of things are at stake, and the world is watching you. So, how do they kind of take care of that pressure?
Uh, to be honest, anxiety. I would personally involve a sports psychologist professional into
Yeah,
the system, into the domain,
yeah,
because sports science involves, you have a sports nutritionist, you
yeah.
have a sports strength and conditioning, a physio, a biomechanics people, you have a sports medicine doctor, etc. And sports psychologists play a very important role
Oh yes, yes.
in high performance domain. So we are in India. The problem is we feel infradig to go to a person, to a sports psychologist, because of our cultural domain doesn't allow you to talk about it, to either to go to a psychologist or a psychiatrist or a sports psychologist. So
So
I think personally I'm not qualified to talk much about sports psychology. I have to be very honest here. uh,
appreciate that.
so
Appreciate that. Yes, yes,
and
sure.
I
But
think they would
it's not
be
life
able to give you.
experiences. But you have so many life experiences and so many, you have dealt with all kinds of people. So basically, because of that, I
Anxiety
totally
is,
understand. But I totally understand, because since this is, yeah, technical stuff, a sports psychologist will be able to.
able to do that. From my perspective, I can
Yeah.
talk about from
Yeah.
my perspective.
What's your first?
To to be anxious is good. To have butterflies in your stomach is good to give you high performance. It's like an
Right.
inverted U. In a curve. Suddenly you get arousal state, then you can maintain that, you perform well, and then there is a huge dip. So
Right.
that is, I don't know what it's called. It's an inverted curve. I don't know the technical name for that,
Sure.
but you cannot keep because in anxious state, either you can perform extremely well because that is when you push, or you can do very badly.
Oh, right.
Yes, yes, there
It's
are
able to,
instances
it's
which,
not able to manage the
especially during
nerves.
our workout,
Yeah.
hold on to your nerves. Who's
Yeah.
able to hold on to the nerves and
Yeah.
understand their intent,
Sure.
why they are there, for
Sure.
what reason. They have to shut the entire thing off, have a tunnel vision, because they cannot worry about what the commentator is speaking, or a crowd is speaking. I mean, hooting or cheering you, or X, Y, and Z. They cannot worry about it.
Yeah.
It is like a tunnel vision. They
Right.
are there at that moment. You live for that moment. You ask any professional athlete, they live for that moment. They don't think about the end result. They go into the process. So once you understand result doesn't matter, you are living in that moment, that anxiety has a tendency to wane away. That is my take on it. I may be right, I may be wrong, but
It's a very
uh,
well said. Very well said. Very well said.
so
Uh,
professional psychologists will be able to give you much in-depth analysis on that.
no, no, but
Why
I mean,
and what triggers that anxiety.
sure.
It can be hormonal, or it can be an external factor, or it can be an internal factor, or too much of expectation about your own goals and winning. So
Yeah.
there are so many factors which triggers. I don't know what, it depends on individual what triggers that anxiety. It's
Exactly.
completely individual.
Totally, totally. Please tell us something about your strength and conditioning. Also, your, anything you want to talk about. That you find most fascinating about it, about your
Yeah, it's
training,
a
about.
fascinating field, provided you keep your eyes and ears open and larger extent mouth shut. So that's my philosophy.
Right,
Keep
right.
your eyes and ears, learn new things,
Yeah,
keep an open mind like a parachute so that you can absorb a lot of things.
yeah,
And no question is trivial. And keep asking questions. You can learn from a 12-year-old boy who
yeah.
is asking you some fantastic question. You may not know the answer, but don't faff around, gas around to them giving jargon. Be honest.
Right.
And it's a fascinating field where there are a lot of uh, uh, domains involved, like physics, you have biology, you have chemistry, you have mathematics, you have a lot of fields interlinked to a specific what do you call subject,
Right.
which you want to incorporate into. Uh, you can experiment, you can explore loads of things in this field, because there is no set formula in the world which any SNC strength and conditioning professional can say this is the best workout in the world, this is going to be universal, this is the best workout in the world. Absolutely no. It's one man's food is another man's poison.
Oh,
So what suits me may not suit you, or vice versa.
right, right, right.
It may be successful for me, but it can be a total disaster for you, or vice versa.
Sure, okay,
So
okay.
it has to be bespoke,
Right.
and to understand what is bespoke, we need to we need to be strong on the subject. You
Yes.
need to be very, very strong on the subject. So otherwise, you can be wannabe sports scientist, wannabe strength and conditioning guys, wannabe to be looked at, and to be winning accolades and earn money. There are a lot of people those who are doing it, but I don't blame them, because their goals are such to be seen, to be noticed. So strength and conditioning field is vast, and this is one aspect of sports science.
Sure.
Strength and conditioning is one aspect of sports science, the entire domain.
Right.
So sport is huge, and as far as India is concerned, we are getting into there. There are a lot of youngsters coming in there. I think it's a good field to be in,
Yeah.
to help our athletes to go to the next level, to the world level.
Awesome, awesome. You've had such a commendable journey, and you have trained such iconic athletes. And also, what's been the best learning from your journey? Any anecdotes that you like to share also?
Learning. Oh yeah, I'll tell you a couple of things which I got hammered. I'm not ashamed of it because it is true. Uh, Idea is to keep things very simple.
Yeah,
Don't complicate things. This is not doing a research to be a Nobel laureate.
yeah,
So keep things very simple, and open line of communication is very important. One,
right.
one and two. So, and keep updating, as I told you earlier. Keep updating. Keep your mind and ears and
Learning.
eyes open for
Yes.
learning process. These three are the basic, I would say, as a tripod stool. And be humble in the process. As a character, be very humble, because millions of people are doing the same job of what I'm doing. You know, it doesn't make develop a halo around my head. So, said that, uh, this is a lesson I learned when I was studying in Australia.
Okay.
Because Australia is a country where they play all the sport, and loads of research and data collection. They are in a different level altogether, at least 25, 30 years ahead of us in
Wow.
sports research and sports science.
Awesome.
Seriously, yeah, it is no brainer. So when I went to study there, I was doing an internship in AS, Australian Institute of Sports, and there, milling with scientists, sports scientists, and double PhDs and triple PhDs, and guys, those who are on a different level altogether. Seriously, seriously.
Amazing.
So when they told me, Ramji, what can you do a session with the boys?
Yeah.
Uh, some of the cricketers, Australian cricketers were there, and I said, I'll do. And what can you do? I'll do everything, I said. And in a fit of enthusiasm, I didn't
Yeah.
know what I was talking,
Right.
to be
Right.
honest. I thought,
Right.
okay, being there, I knew. Then they told me, don't ever do that, because this is a huge field. You are not even tip of an iceberg.
Oh.
So, they told me very, very frankly, don't do this, Ramji, because you don't know everything. And I don't know, it was lack of, character from my part. I was full of confidence, and I think just because I know something, I know more than the guys in India. But that I got a hammering, and that was a lesson I learned way back in 97, 98. That was still, it's ringing in my ears. Try to be stick on to what you know the best. Don't give gyan, and don't keep things very simple. And then I took a class. They were the first to appreciate. Then
Oh,
this was in back of my mind when I was doing the session with them, and they were the first to appreciate this is phenomenal. So I know they know when to give you accolades and when to hit you on the head. So that was a solid hitting on my ego, to
yeah.
be very frank,
Yeah.
and that uh, kept me
Grounded.
grounded. You have to be grounded.
Yeah. No, I really appreciate
That's
you for sharing this anecdote. Thank you. It shows your humility, actually. No, thank you so much for sharing this.
it's a real truth,
Okay.
and there is no harm in sharing. There is I'm not ashamed about it, because
Because we're all,
one
we're all learning. We are nobody's perfect. There are, I mean, er is
till
human.
you last
We all
breath.
mistakes.
Uh, we always say this cliched word, no, we keep learning till we die.
Yeah.
No, no, how many of us do it? Very few, very few. When it's convenient, we pull out these pull out these cliched words, etc., etc. And end of the day, what matters is keep learning enough from anybody, and keep things very simple. See how Roger Federer's backhand looks very simple. You know how hard he has worked for it, how much effort he has put in for it, how much smart work he has put in for it. Not that I'm comparing myself to them, but even if I can get 1% of what they are, Sachin's or Roger or any of them have achieved, not even 1%, if I can implement that, I'll be even more successful.
Fabulous. Okay. 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 So what was the most successful moment for you as a coach?
Super was World Cup winning 2011
Okay.
was uh, unbelievable experience, and I always felt I've been very lucky to be part of the team at the right place at the right time, and with the winning team with part of the history. And also 2013 Champions Trophy, which is unfortunately that's our last ICC trophy for Indian cricket team. That was in 2013. I was part of the team, which was one of the fittest team which we had. And 2011 was absolutely mind blowing. And also a couple of races where Narain won podium
All right.
in A1GP. Oh yes, yes, unbelievable. That was a phenomenal moment, especially in Dubai and in UK, and couple of podiums in Super Formula in Japan. Those moments are phenomenal. And Sharat Kamal winning gold medal for India in table tennis in Commonwealth. It's one of the nicest moments. So that gives me what do you call confidence that I am in the right path. These results have to prove, isn't it? End of the day,
Yes,
what
yeah,
you do, the results have to prove. For one, you have to keep proving over the period of time.
yeah.
And obviously, and another thing which really I feel really happy is MRF Pace Foundation, which I'm back in Pace Foundation after 14 years.
Okay.
To see the boys come out for Pace Foundation, out of Pace Foundation, and representing India as one of the premium
What
fast
is
bowlers.
Trace Space Foundation? Sorry.
MRF Pace Foundation is the premier fast bowling institute in the world.
Okay. Oh, okay, okay. Sorry. Okay, got it.
We have produced 20 fast bowlers for India so
Oh,
far. It is one of the first conceptualized high performance center in India 35 years back, Garima.
wow.
Absolutely brilliant. When we were having fighting with sticks and stones, MRF Pace Foundation was in a different level altogether.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And they had the vision, absolutely brilliant vision. And now we are stepping it to a different level altogether into high performance.
Awesome.
By collecting loads of data and getting into a lot of research.
Yeah.
So it sets a different tone altogether for in excellence. So
Fabulous.
these are my highest points so far, and also the young guys winning the
Right.
karting or a tennis or a cricket matches, etc.,
Yeah.
etc., tennis nationals or international levels.
Yeah.
It gives me immense pleasure. That
Yeah.
that we're on the right path.
Yes. What's a message to the upcoming young athletes?
Message. You make me look as I'm as old as a pyramid.
Not at all. Not at all. You are wise. You're a wise person, and we all want
No,
to
just
listen
kidding. Just kidding. No, 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 just kidding. Uh, Young athletes, perseverance, enjoy what you're doing. The moment you stop enjoying, stop it. Then you're being forced by external factor or internal factor. Also, there is a very, very thin line between willpower and foolishness. So once you start enjoying what you're doing, results will automatically come. Sit down to the process and protocols. Go, the result will automatically come, but you need to persevere. Perseverance is the key. And perseverance, commitment, enjoyment. These three.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for this wonderful message. Okay, so I'll just come to the short answers a little bit to know about your, insights. Also, just one or two line answers. Your
Okay.
favorite quote,
My favorite coach.
quotation.
Quote, that's,
Yeah.
oh, I thought I heard it as
Yeah.
coach. Favorite thing, as I told, I think I spoke about the will to will should be more than the fear of failure. Very powerful quote because
Yes.
it encompasses everything in what you want to achieve. As a whether so you're a sportsman or whether you're a businessman or whether you're a startup company
Yeah.
or you are just an ordinary person, that shows your real intent and toughness.
Perfect. Your role model.
My role models are quite a few. quite a few. They need not be older than me.
Yeah.
They can be younger than me.
Yeah.
For me, my role models, and I would say without shame, is I'm a hardcore Sachinist.
Oh wow, really? Oh,
I'm a hardcore Sachin is a role model. MS Dhoni, a good role model, and I have also uh, uh, who else? Sharat Kamal is a
oh,
very good role model. Table tennis at 42 is still rocking, and we had a couple of good role models whom I have interacted once or twice,
yeah.
but not on a regular basis. For me, it's as far as cricket and most of the other domain is concerned, it starts and ends with Sachin and Dhoni
Wow.
and Sharat Kamal and a couple of other coaches, those who have been influential in my life. Dennis Lilly, my role model,
Wow.
former Australian fast bowler, he brought science to cricket way back in 73, 74. You can Google and check out. He is one
Okay.
of my top level role models. With these
Sure,
four,
sure.
I think uh,
Yeah.
are, except Dennis, others are all younger to me. So it doesn't matter. You can keep learning. No? You can look up to them and keep progressing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Craziest thing about fitness.
Craziest is it can be defined in many ways. Craziest thing about fitness is trying to do something which, uh, what do you call, for the effect of it, you know, just to impress people or impress social media, impress your athlete, trying to pretend to be a maverick.
Oh, which you're not, which one may not be.
You can see once you remove the slight fog or a
The-
mist in the glass
Yeah.
or a mirror, you can see through them like a glass. So that is a very dangerous trend, and
That.
it's very crazy. So the fat diets, the fat fitness regimes, those things are very crazy. It's all seasonal and
Yeah.
it is also questionable. Don't do that. Just stick on to the time tested over a period of time, and a lot of things have been researched.
Yeah.
So this sort of something like a beer yoga and all those sort of things are.
Documentary film that inspired you the most, or any book,
Oh yeah,
film or book that
lot
inspired you the most.
lot of books. I have my own library.
Oh wow.
I
You can see
read a
some
lot.
in the back also.
Yeah, I have full. Uh, at least I read at least minimum of one book a month minimum.
Wow.
So
Okay.
that's not much. People read through osmosis. Weekly 2 3 books. And there are voracious readers. So for me, I have seen 4 or 5 documentaries which really kindle your thought process. One is this Icarus about doping. Second thing is uh, race to driver. That's Formula One web series. I mean,
Yeah.
came in that
Right.
phenomenal,
Formula.
absolutely brilliant.
Hmm.
Then another thing is called a game changer, which is about nutrition and diet,
Yeah.
fat diets, how
I've
they
seen
have been
that.
exposed.
Seen that. That's also amazing.
I like reading about parallel universe and other dimensions, etc. This Area 51, all these conspiracy theories, I like
Yeah.
a lot.
Do you
So
believe in it,
these
Amir?
are
Do you believe in it also, Amir?
I do. We cannot be alone in this entire universe, and entire, especially our galaxy alone has got 40 billion extra. I mean stars, and we cannot have a feel that we are alone in this entire universe. We are just a grain of sand in the beach. So, so we
Okay.
ought to be careful in the process. So this another thing called acknowledged by Stephen Greer. It's
Okay.
about contact with the extraterrestrials. Then there is another thing. I mean, it's a huge conspiracy theory, and a lot of things have been proven now. It's Bob Lazar about Area 51.
Okay.
It's riveting. These things make you. It's not only sports. You have to come out of that domain and think something
Yeah.
slightly catchy, maybe.
Yeah. 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 So it's yeah.
So
So yeah. So
it's
it's
you
great.
develop outside your domain.
Yeah, it's great to have these hobbies and all, which are also like, beyond the sport also. I mean, so that because that also expands the horizon and the thinking and thought process, and so I think,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. So
Otherwise, it can be very pedantic and boring. Yeah, you need something
yeah,
out of the thing, come back again, with fresh mind, fresh thought
absolutely.
processes.
Like Einstein used to play very good violin. I think he was a great violinist also.
They
Besides,
have another side to themselves.
yeah.
Most of them have other side to themselves.
So what's your hidden talent? I mean,
Hidden
you play
talent.
violin also.
No, I don't play violin. At one bow, I'll break all the strings. So music didn't miss me. I like cooking. I like cooking, trying out dishes
That's
at my
also
own.
therapeutic. That's cooking is very
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 therapeutic, very
therapeutic.
relaxing. Actually,
Yes, very
you
well.
should not ask chef, those who sous chefs and other those who are doing that. They find it really a highly stressful job.
Yeah,
For somebody like me, it's good enough.
yeah,
Somebody has to eat the death-defying dish. What I make, they have to eat.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I enjoy cooking, and put whatever thing, make whatever I feel like making on that particular day.
Yeah,
It's very relaxing.
super. So, what's your biggest dream?
My biggest dream is to win multi-Olympic medals for India
Wow.
in Olympics and World Championship and Grand Slams and other thing. Maybe I'm I'm fantasizing rather than visualizing, but someday I'm sure it'll come true. That's my biggest dream because cricket we have won the highest level, and Olympics we need to get there. We have enough amazing athletes are there in our country, amazing resource. I think if the athletes are harnessed well and supported well, which government is doing, and I think sky is the limit for us. I like to be part of that winning Olympic gold medal. I hope
No,
it comes true.
no, I'm sure it will. I'm wishing you all the very, very best. May all your dreams come true, Ramji. Your commitment, to excellence and your role as an advisor and coach, for various these, high performance programs, it highlights how your contribution has been so valuable to the sporting community, and your passion, your knowledge, your commitment to enhance the athletic performance, is a pure asset to the world of sports, I must
Only
say.
thing I have is commitment and what I can give to make them think.
Yes.
That's the only asset I have. Whatever I can, my knowledge, whatever little bit I have, I
Yeah.
can share and uh, do that. Commit it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And with this, we come to the end of the show. Thank you, Ramji, for joining me in this absolutely amazing session.
Thank you so much, Garima. Good luck. Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much. Thank you all for listening to today's episode with your host, Garima Aftar. See you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.